Alright, what up boys? What up guys? Just gonna do a quick Dota analysis here. Um, I am an alright Dota player. I'm like pretty good. Thing is, I do mostly play support. And my friend here is a newer Dota player, just getting into the game. And yeah, so it looks like he was playing Juggernaut in this. Which is, out of the hard carries I played, he's probably the one I played most. Even though mostly, like, I'm a pretty hard, like, support player. I don't actually play carry that much. But I should be able to see, just general game sense, general game knowledge kind of stuff.
Your turn to
So,
begin.
the first thing to note about Dota is that the game starts before the game starts, like, from the picking. From the, hero picking. I'm trying to move this stupid. Alright, whatever. The recording software I have is kind of like in the way of some of the buttons there, but it's alright, I got it. So let's see. For starting items, I'm not gonna really drill him too hard about items here because I know he's just getting started, and I told him to like just follow a guide anyways. So um, not really gonna drill him on items. Um, he's literally just texting me. Alright, whatever. He was literally just texting me about dead lanes. Um, so let's say, shit, maybe I'll just explain it in this video. Alright, I'll explain dead lanes super quick in this video. Um, basically, once like all it really means is like once this tower is gone, this lane becomes a dead lane because there's so much area that like enemies can gank you from, and literally I just know it from experience. Like more you play this game and you realize like you'll just realize like oh man, like all the times like I was farming, like I just died here. um Literally that's what dead lane theory is. Dead lane theory is that you stay on this side of the map. You want to take this tower down, and you want to farm this side of the map. You want to actually farm your opponent's jungle most of the time, and you just do this little triangle here. They call it a triangle because it's like three camps. One, two, one, two, three. Kind of like four actually, if you count the ancients. But so that's what dead lane theory is. Basically, all it's saying is you put your whole team over here in this area of the map. Um, like this is where you should mostly be farming around this area, and then you have your hard carry like kind of farming this triangle, and then this way they can just like get into fights easier. And once you control like this whole side of the map and you control their outposts, you just have you have so much control that they really can't do anything. And even if they try to push this lane, look how long of a road this is because they got to go through that giant like curve. Um, so basically, you kind of have the advantage because you're already gonna be around here. So if they try to push the top lane, you actually just keep pushing bottom and you just go through here and win the game before they can really do anything. So you kind of stay here, and you know what the other crazy thing about this is like then your opponent's team can't even go into their own jungle. They try to go into their own jungle, and they're just gonna keep getting picked off if your whole team is right here. So it's a lot because a lot of us come from Smash. It's a lot like having stage control. Having this like this part of the map under your control is huge, and you can teleport to it with outposts now. So and you get gold and stuff. You get a bunch of bonuses for controlling outposts. You'd have to kind of just look at it again, like to see exactly what they are. You got a ton of stuff from just controlling the outpost, and then you control the jungle. You get crazy good farm. Your opponent's team can't farm, so they just like kind of fall behind, and it's just really tough to deal with. And then you get a bunch of wards all up in their jungle, and then they're trying to like get high ground up on you, and they're going to be losing for the most part. So that's basically what Deadline Theory is. It's all it means is take this tower, take your enemy's offlane tower, and stay on their side of the map for the most part, and this little triangle area of camps. And then also it goes vice versa. When you lose your safe lane tower, then this whole area is very dangerous, and they can be all up in your jungle and stopping you from farming. So that's how Deadline Theory works. Anyways, back to the replay analysis here. So, looking at starting items right off the bat, big issue I see here is the fact that your mango is in your backpack. I think I slightly mentioned this last time when we played. Put the salve in your backpack because look at this. See that 0.6 HP regeneration passive. So that means that the entire time this is in your backpack, your HP is not going to be regenerating as fast as it should be. And early game, that's huge. Early game, that's huge. On top of that, just the salve, it is generally like a slower item because you want to do it in a situation where you're not getting hit. However, this one instantly restores 110 mana. So, with that being said, like you want this, so you're getting the HP, early on, and then if you like toss out a Q, but then you're in a situation where you have to Q again really fast, you want to be able to just pop that mango and then you can Q again. So, um, yeah, that's basically how you use that. The other huge important thing you should be doing, let me put it back on player perspective. Yeah, okay, I like that you're queuing up. So yeah, at the beginning of the game, start getting stuff ready. I actually like that you're looking into the scoreboard, you're seeing who's on what team. That's what you should be doing at the beginning. You should be getting as much information as you can. You should look on the map, see how the opponents. Wait, pause right there. Pause right there. Oh, crap. Let me go. Maybe let me go back. Be looking at the minimap. Be very conscious of the minimap, and let's see if we can see that lion again. See that lion. Maybe I didn't go back enough. Let's try that one more time. What I'm looking for is when the lion shows face. So be looking at the minimap. Get as much information as you can. You already know what your starting items are. Look at your partner and look at if the enemy team ever shows face, you want to click on them actually just to see what their starting items are. And here we go. See, the reason it's really important to keep an eye on the minimap and look at your enemies because Lion's actually a support hero for the most part, and as soon as he shows face, you want to see does he have a ward on him. He actually doesn't even have a ward. Normally, if they're doing this, they're warding, or he might have placed one already. I could go back in the replay and check what he actually was doing all the way this far, but I would assume it was something to do with the ward. But anyways, you should just be looking at his items to see what he has. You know he's got a windlace, he's got a fairy fire, got 6 tangles, so you just know he has a bunch of regen, but he's not going to be really too strong with his right clicks, basically. Yeah, that's that. But yeah, anytime you can get information on the enemy team, that's huge. So let's go back to the replay here, starting off with your Q. That's a good skill build. I don't think Juggernaut ever goes any other build. Here I'd like to see you control click a bit more. Get like a nice big stash, like a big. I get like a full like 8 item queue at the beginning of every game, And if you don't have a purchase quick buy hockey, get that so that if you're about to die, you just spam that. For me, I literally use caps lock. So every time I'm about to die, I just spam quick buy, quick buy, quick buy, quick buy. And what that does is I buy out before I die, so I don't lose a bunch of gold. So let's see how you contest this bounty rune. Okay. Yeah, I would start like running up like a little bit earlier than that. That was a little bit slow, but they didn't really do anything, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see if he knows about creep blocking. I don't know if he knows what creep blocking is or not. Looks like he's kind of going for it. We'll see. It's still annoying me that this freaking mango is not in the it's like triggering me that the mango is just not being used. Like what the salve is not doing anything right now, where you could be having a passive with the HP regen. Plus you want it to be instant. But that's that. Let's see the last hitting. Here's when you'd probably wanna aggro the creeps, and that way you can hit them more. Because oh, another huge important thing is to look at your partner's skill build. Because let's see what the Veno did here. You wanna look at your lane partner's skill build always. Because that will affect what you guys can do at level 1, and Juggernaut's a hero that can actually do stuff at level 1. So actually, I want to say that this Venomancer did probably the wrong skill build. He went for Poison Sting level 1. This just kind of makes his like passive right clicks do like a little bit of poison damage. Whereas if he got Venomous Gale, dude, you guys would have actually like a crazy lane. Uh, Venomous Gale has huge slow, does huge damage, lasts for like 15 seconds. If he galed both of them and then you just use your spin, that would do so much damage to them that like you don't even have to go for a kill. Just throw it out at the very beginning of the game, and it'll just It'll just like literally just ruin their whole lane. It'll ruin their whole laning phase because like they'll have to use so. Look how much little regen the Spirit Breaker even has. He has like just like 3 tangles and a salve. You do that, he's gonna have to pop his salve. He's just gonna have like 3 tangles and a quelling blade, which is a garbage starting build. And you'd be able to just take the lane from there. Also important, as soon as you see your enemies at the beginning of the game, try to click on their items because you want to see that Venomancer has a ward. That's very important to note because if you notice he has a ward here and then later you notice that he doesn't have a ward, then you know he just placed a ward. So you want to be a little bit conscious of that. Try to look at their items, and that'll kind of tell you like another thing to pay attention to is how much regen they have. So you know when you should like kind of like go for the kill because like like this Venomancer is actually like stacked on regen. So it might actually be better in this case. Generally you would want to aim for the support, but in this case I would actually kind of harass the Spirit Breaker a little bit more because you know that he has just less regen. So he's gonna have to go back to base, or he's gonna have to buy something, or he's gonna be in panic mode, or he's gonna have to jump out of lane. So yeah, look at your opponent's items and look at your partner's items and look at your partner's skills. Anyways, back to the replay. Alright, let's see if you can get that last hit. Nice. He got it, and it was actually kind of a tricky view, so respect. Let's see his tower last hitting. That's not bad, not bad. I see that. You see what just happened here? They actually pulled the creep aggro towards them. So they're 2 melee heroes. And you want to be kind of doing the same thing. You want the creep aggro to be your way. So that it's easier for you to last hit. So let's look at that. Go back a little bit. And look at the creeps here. See what they do. See, I think it was probably the Nyx that tried to attack you there. The Nyx assassin went like he was going to attack you, and that pulled the creeps over to him, and that brought it closer to their side, and now you're in a bad position. So what you want to do is you want to pull that wave back. Another thing to note is that look how many more creeps they have than you have. So even like probably because they got that pull, they were able to get a lot more like hits off on the creeps. And look how many more. You guys have 2 creeps, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the range creeps do more damage, but are less less tanky, by the way. Keep that in mind. Range creeps die more easily. They die faster, they're squishier, but they also do more damage. So when a range creep is sitting in the back, they're doing more damage. Okay, I'm pretty good last sitting under the tower, not gonna lie. Okay, that wasn't bad at all. You could have definitely denied that creep. Um, they keep changing the rules on how deny works, so I kind of forget. Like for a while, you used to like get gold every deny. I don't think you get gold anymore, but I think it's still worth it because I'm pretty sure like you'll at least deny them XP, and more denies you get, like more you deny them XP, then you'll get level 6 before they get level 6, and then you ult, stuff like that. Now, another thing to note is when you're playing Juggernaut is, actually when you're playing any carry, is you have to know when your power spikes are. Because power spikes are kind of what makes a carry. Because, for example, Juggernaut has 2 early game, probably about 3 early game, honestly, actually, Juggernaut's kind of a crazy early game carry. So his first power spike is literally at level 1. If you pair up Juggernaut with somebody who has a stun or a slow, which could have been this Nick, which could have been the Venomancer, but he unfortunately did not choose to use Gale. But if you have like a slower stun and you combine that with your spin, it is busted. Um, and it's really hard to deal with level 1 because it's just the sheer damage output that it does. Um, it's super hard. It'll actually like you'll be surprised if you start pulling that off in games. You'll be surprised how much damage and how much control of the lane that gives you. So that's one thing. And then level 3 is also like pretty much the second power gap because it jumps quite a bit. It goes from 85 damage to 110. And then level 4 is pretty decent for Juggernaut when you start getting. Okay, let's see what happens here. That was really good. That was actually really good. Okay, there's the Gale. See that's exactly what I'm talking about. Now that the Nyx has, so it was kind of, you guys could have actually done that from level 1, but the Nyx chose to level that on the second level, but at least he got it then, and you were able to. That was the exact combo I was talking about. That's what I was saying. You should have done like right. You could have done that right at the beginning and just like not even let them play the laning phase. That's not your fault. That's more like your partner's skill build. Get that last hit, nice. Get that. I would even get them to deny, but whatever. It doesn't matter. They're not even here. Um. So, I mean, still, I mean, I can't really keep chirping you until you see this video analysis, but okay, so I don't mind you going into this here. Again, like having the mango would be making your health regen faster. And right now, I would actually eat a tango. You're already like 3 minutes into the game. Honestly, you don't need to like super hold on to these tangos. Um, and you don't need to like kind of waste time by like running back. Kind of. I think that was a bad salve usage. Wait, did you use salve? I thought you used it. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's pretty bad. Cause look how much time of salve you're just wasting. You're already at full health. You waste a lot of heal. And if you just had the mango on, you would have been fine. You could just kind of play somewhat safe for a little bit. I like that spin. He was at low health and you didn't really see a spirit breaker. It didn't even matter because his spin does so much damage. Did the Veno have a Gale? Did the Veno use his Gale? Oh, he used it right away. Okay. Yeah, let's go back to it. Get those assets. Alright. Oh, dude. Alright, you got Wraithband now. You still have quite a bit of money as well. So that's the importance of shift queuing more. Is you'd have more items there. Wraithband. Let's see what happens. You gotta get this out of your inventory, dude. It'll give you all these stats. 5 agility, 2 strength, 2 intelligence, 5 attack speed, and 1.5 armor. Yeah, you definitely want that in your inventory. It's just sitting in your backpack. It's not being used right now. Okay, yeah, get those boots. I like that. You might even want. Oh, see, this is very dangerous. try to do this stuff as you're moving. Like you're wasting so much time there standing still. Right click like a camp, and then kind of do your like carrier stuff. Don't waste so much time. It's all about getting like that GPM. Yeah, nothing you can really do there. He has charge. Just get those last hits. All you gotta do is farm, farm, farm. But if you put that Wraith Band in your actually like put it in your inventory instead of in your backpack, you'd actually be getting stats from it, and you'd be doing so much more right now. Um, Here I'd say it's a little bit on your support to like kind of contest the bounty rune. You have to remember every 5 minutes the bounty rune comes out. You got healing ward, so let's see. It's huge for pushing. That's all I gotta say. Nyx Assassin is actually a good pusher as well. He doesn't have his plague ward yet. You guys don't really need a push right now. Okay, that's a good setup. That's a good setup. I would healing ward right now. You can healing ward during your moves. Like you have to remember during your spin, you can do stuff. You can act like out of it. So you can while you're doing your Q, I would have popped out the healing ward right away just to get some. Even now, like it makes no sense to not be healing. He almost died. And actually switching to agility was worse there because you're on strength and then yeah, now you have to TP to base. Like it's just kind of wasting a lot of time that you didn't need because if you just use the healing ward, you would have been on like totally good health and you would have been able to farm that whole time. So keep in mind when using power treads, if your health is low, you want it on strength. If you're trying to like farm and do damage, you want it on agility. And if you need more mana, you put it on intelligence. Um, so yeah, your tread usage could have been better there. I honestly think power treads is maybe a bit of a complicated item for somebody starting out. You might actually want to just use phase boots instead. They're also very good on Juggernaut, and yeah, I would actually kind of recommend just using phase boots. Another thing I just kind of want to mention on the side is I did think about like another hero who's like super good at high level play, and he's super good to start off on, and he's kind of like actually probably an easier version of Jug, and it's Sven. He's actually OP, and he teaches you how to play carry really well. You might want to actually consider just learning Sven, and I can definitely like show you like the flowchart for him, and it's pretty cool. So anyways, let's see what he does here. So his Veno even TP'd back to the lane. And you got oh, another thing here is when you're TPing back to base and when you're getting information. I mean, when you're TPing back to base, you should be getting information. Look around the map. Right now, like what I would like to see you do is while you're healing up, you should be clicking over bottom lanes. You don't have to teleport there or anything. But just see what's going on. See who's fighting and see what items they got on them and what level they are compared to your own level. Because you should be one of the highest levels on the map as a hard carry. You see they have a Tide Hunter level 6 and a PL level 4. So keep in mind their levels as well because so just keep in mind like okay he's level 6 I'm level 4. I'd probably lose that exchange between the two of us or whatever. So keep an eye. Use that time when whenever you're dead or whenever you go back to base. Use that time to get information. That's really important. All right, let's go back to it. So that Wraith Band just getting so wasted. Okay, building Battle Fury next. That's not bad. It's a pretty good, solid build. It's just let's see the timing he gets on it. And what you have to note about Battle Fury is that it's a farming tool. It's not really a fighting tool. So again, going back to what I was saying earlier about knowing your peaks. Also, it's gonna take you a long time to get back all the way to that lane. So okay, yeah, I was gonna say I hope you at least farm some jungle on the way. Um, Another cool trick you can do is you can, if you are using treads, you can actually switch your treads to intelligence and then Q, and it'll increase your mana pool so that the percentage that percentage of mana that like your spells take is actually less. So what's a good idea is to go like intelligence, use your spells while you have extra mana, and then switch it back to agility for the faster farming. At least use the Q. You don't really need the healing ward. That's kind of a waste of mana. Intelligence switching will not give you that much mana. Another thing is I should probably talk about stacking camps. Often supports will stack camps for you. Maybe I'll just demo stacking camps later. Yeah, I was gonna say don't be scared to queue a creep wave. It's fine. Because what's important is you farm. You probably could have just tried last hitting that a bit better. Be really kind of picky about your last hits. Like you missed that one. Just kind of be wary of just like wait on them like a little bit. Like just don't like have it right click. Especially once they start getting low. I would probably just queue that wave. Especially, here's the other like cool thing about Q is when your partner is like kind of stealing your farm like this guy is. Like, I don't know why he's sitting with you. He should just be pushing the lane. And actually another thing is when you're playing carry, pay attention to the map because if you look now, it's huge to have map awareness. Oh yeah, and I was gonna ask you if you even knew about neutral items. It looks like you picked one up. So you probably know about those. So you should be looking at the map here because so there's a few things you want to pay attention to on the map. Let's talk about what you should really focus on. So what you should focus on is how many people do you see? Like I think we didn't see the Spirit Breaker, but we saw 1, 2, 3, you know, maybe even like almost everybody besides the Spirit Breaker was visible on the map. They had about like 4 heroes. So like they don't have anybody like on top lane. So farming the lanes is always faster. You get more gold and more XP if you were over here. You should actually not be in that jungle. You should be right here right now, and you should be pushing this lane in, because what this does is Juggernaut is actually a really scary split pusher, and it's for a few reasons. One, his pushing is strong in general because he has healing ward. Um, if you push a creep wave with healing ward, it heals your own creeps as well, and it just makes it so your creeps are dying, and then you get another wave going, and then it's OP for pushing towers. So Juggernaut's actually a really good split pusher. The other thing is, since they have like 4 people over here, that means they can't really commit more than one guy to you, and one guy cannot take Juggernaut down, because even if they're stronger than you can use Blade Fury, and this makes you immune to spells. And remember, you can act out of your spin, so you can be using Blade Fury, and you can just TP back to base while you're using that. So a very common like pushing strategy with Juggernaut is you use Healing Ward, you push out the wave, and you force people to come to you. And when they finally come to you, you use your Blade Fury, you run away a little bit, you use your Blade Fury, and you TP out. And they can't stun you, they can't slow you because you're immune to spells. So if they don't kill you within like that very short channel, that 3 seconds, they have 3 seconds to kill you. And if they don't kill you within that time, you got away scotch free. So, and the other thing is, if even like just one person comes alone to try to gank you, you got your Omni Slash as well, and this will often like just wreck single targets. So you can usually win a one-on-one fight. You have amazing escape. You have amazing push. So you should be in that lane, and you should be forcing your enemies to react to your movements. You should be forcing your enemies to come back over here and split up. Because right now they're all grouped up over there, and you're not really getting anything accomplished by being in the jungle. You should be in the lane. If so, basically, if there's ever a lot of heroes, if you see a lot of heroes on the map and they're not near you, start pressuring. Yeah, see, you're even going backwards in the jungle. You should be pressuring right now. You should be pressuring the map, and you should be pressuring that tower, and you should be using that. You can just switch to intel boots, use that healing ward, and just start pushing. And if that Venomancer, like, I don't know what the, like, really think about it. What is the Venomancer getting done right now? He could be like bottom in that fight, if he wanted to. I would also, another thing to keep in mind is just look at the fights every now and then. Like, don't always TP. TP if you see the opportunity, but look at the fights, and you see there's a bunch of stuff going on there, and you don't always really need to pay attention to when you're jungling. Um, but look at what's going on there and see, like, honestly, look to steal kills. Look to steal kills as a carry early game. Look for a chance where you think you can TP in and ult them and get at least one kill, or change the tide of the fight. That's what you want to do. You want to just come in, use your ult, try to win the team fight, and I mean, in this case it looks kind of grim. It looks like these three guys are all over these two. But you want to be looking for those opportunities for when it is a little bit of a better fight. Right now, I would not TP in there. You're just gonna make matters worse. But right now, you should be pushing the top lane to take pressure off of. See, they already committed 3 heroes over here against 2. So you have your Veno in lane, and your Veno's also a very strong pusher. So you guys should at least be pushing this lane hard to take pressure off of bottom lane and force them to use their TPs, force them to rotate, force them to spread across the map, and force them to play your game. So that's that. Let's keep going. I like that you got a wand. Wand's an awesome item. Oh wait, is that the Venom? Alright, you don't have a wand? You should get a wand, dude. Get a wand like kinda early on. You could probably avoid some of the base runs. Also, if you're just hitting the creeps like in the lane more in general, you probably wouldn't be taking so much damage from the jungle creeps. Also, I would actually probably build, when building a Battle Fury, I would build a Ring of Health and Ring of Mana Regen first, because this is what you need early game, actually. These are like the first ones you need, because this will make it just so your health, like, regens like crazy fast, so you don't need to go back to, you don't have to waste time going back to base. And this will make it just so your mana regens pretty fast, so you can use your Q to farm. This will actually help you farm more than the extra damage will, because you'll be able to hit multiple creeps with a Q, and then you'll get your mana back by the time you get to the next camp. So it's actually more efficient to get build this ring first, and then build. So okay, let's see what happened here. So I was just talking about the items and all that. I didn't really watch. So let's see what happens. So now we don't see as many heroes on the map, but it's actually not that bad. There's still 2, and we saw 1 person bottom. It's still okay. But this is why they call it the dead lane. This is exactly why they call it the dead lane. It gets dangerous a little bit later in the game to be around this area, because and it'd help if you guys had more wards, for sure. You might even want to pick up a ward and put it on like that cliff right there. That would be nice. So let's just see what happens. You got more tangos. Probably not needed. Look to Q and get out of there. See, you could have TP'd out actually. If you Q and TP'd right away, you would have actually got out. You could have TP'd. That would have actually been a good time to TP to base, instead of trying to kill them. Okay, actually your TP was on cooldown, so you didn't really have that option. But I mean, at the very least, just use your spells. Q, W, alt. Your alt, they can't hit you while you're doing your alt, and the healing ward would make a huge difference. Either they have to like all focus it to kill it, or they let you get away. It was unfortunate you did not have TP. Basically, be more aggressive when you have TP not on cooldown, because you wanna have that option to, cause otherwise you don't have that resource. You wanna really push a lane when your TP's not on cooldown and your ult's not on cooldown. And then if you get in a tricky situation, you have your ult and you have your Q TP, and then you you can just you have your defense that way. And use your healing ward when you're pushing. See that creep that's almost dead? You could give him literally a whole new life. And even if you got the tower anyways, you're probably gonna get the tower anyways, but your push would have been faster and stronger, and your farm would be more efficient if you were using healing ward while you were pushing. Now, yeah, I like this. I like this because they're being really aggressive across the map, as you can see. I would like to see you click around a little bit more. Click in the middle lane, click in the bottom lane, see what's going on. Yeah. So yeah, I would usually just like queue that creep wave right away, especially when you have like full resources, and then go to the mid lane right away, and keep looking at the bottom lane. Just look at the bottom lane, just so if you see an opportunity for a kill, you can go for it. I think the tangles was kind of an unnecessary purchase. Really good ults, really good Q. It just went immune through his spell, and finally the Nyx comes, and you should. Oh, you didn't get that kill. That's unfortunate. That was a close try. But don't dive so hard. I would have let that kill go. He dived way too hard. Yeah, that was just a huge dive. That was just 100% greedy. Keep in mind, people can TP in this game. If you go that deep, a person can just TP back to that tower and kill you easily. It's not worth it, especially the hard carry. You can't be giving kills like that. You can't be giving them kills. And right now, while you're dead, look around the map. Look at what they're doing. Look at what's going on bottom. Look at what items they have. And you should like wand is like an early game item. You could actually totally be using that. It would have been a lot better of a purchase than 6 angles if you're not even using them. Um, the wand would actually be really good because it would help you get out of some of these situations. Yeah, you ended up just selling the angles, kind of useless. If you just have the ring of health and healing ward, that's all you really need. If you need more defense in a certain matchup, you can always get a bracer. It's a good early game stat item that gives you a bit more tankiness. So Omni Slash is not on cooldown. I mean, like Omni Slash is on cooldown. Sorry. So that means you can't fight right now. You definitely cannot fight right now. You gotta just focus on farming. I do notice you kind of continuously go to the top lane, and guess what? You're continuously going to the dead lane as well. Um, it's kind of fine. It kind of makes sense in this situation because you don't really want to be bottom, because bottom is kind of looks like it's kind of a disaster. But overall kill count is actually not that bad, and I bet if you were kind of watching that lane a bit more, you could find kill opportunities. But either way, um, it's fine. Yeah, just farm. That's not a bad idea. Make sure you always have TP scrolls on you, especially with Juggernaut, because you need QTP. That should be your combo. That's how you just get away. That's how you can overextend and then just get away from terrible situations. And actually, I don't mind. That's why I don't mind phase boost on Juggernaut, because you can use phase boost to run away faster and get into. It'll kind of make your movement speed faster, and it'll let you kind of like phase through like certain things. Oh yeah, the blade doesn't really work too well on ancients. That's why it didn't like really do anything. Don't really do it on the ancients, just do it on the regular camps. Get that bounty, dude, dude, dude. How'd you miss that bounty? It was right there. Be conscious of the time. Every 5 minutes, a bounty rune comes up. Even like the other team just got like 3 bounties, and you still didn't realize that there's a bounty there. Let's see what you do here. See, if you're waiting for, see how the Q is on cooldown right now, so you can't really like get out right away. What you could do is actually just ult while to kill that like 5 seconds or whatever. So like if we go back here, it's on cooldown for 8 seconds, right? What you can do is actually like ult, healing ward, even just ult will buy you time, and then you can Q out. But your teammates are coming to that outpost. Unfortunately, it looks like only one comes. If multiple people came here, you could actually turn the fight around. Because they're overcommitting, and they, like, forgot about the outposts. Okay. Looks like you were able to run back a bit. Alt. Yeah, nice. Oh. Wasn't much you could do there. You could have, basically that fight could have went either two ways. You could have Q and TP'd out, or more of your teammates could have came in. Looks like they're coming in now, and you should be watching the fight. You should be seeing what's going on. You should be looking at the enemy team, what if they use any like alts to see if they have any like spells on cooldown. You should see what item their hard carry has. You should be looking at all that information. Get as much information as you can every time you're dead, every time you're going back to base. So I think that's a pretty good amount of information for now. I kind of want to see. Let's just skip a bit of this game and see how he does a little bit later. Already like 40-minute analysis here, so I'm kind of getting tired. Dude, just ran by the bounty. Just ran by the bounty. And notice almost all the times he's dying, he's in the dead lane. That's what I'm talking about, that lane becomes very dangerous. You should actually be focusing right now, you should be focusing on the middle and the bottom lane. You should be trying to get that tower down, that bot tower. Yeah, you shouldn't be where you were. And you should be, now you're dead, check out everything, man. And I would definitely get the ring before getting the swords. And you can still beat ancients actually pretty good even just with the ring built, because you can just healing ward and right click them. And he's actually pretty decent at doing ancients at that point. Pretty slow timing on your Battle Fury. You want it, like, you should definitely have it by now. Generally, in most games. Probably by like 16 minutes. 16, 17 is alright time. So yeah, even like just going to like the I'll try to teach you about like open lobbies later and how you can use those to practice. Missing a lot of last hits. You can start like right clicking a bunch, like just kind of letting it like auto go once you get your Battle Fury. Before that, you should be actually kind of last hitting at least a little bit, you know. At least trying like a little bit. Don't just like hold the right click. Now here is very dangerous for you to progress forward, because you don't know where too many of them are. You see the lion TP. Oh yeah. See, I didn't even see all that, but I knew you're in trouble. You should TP out right away as soon as you start that Q. So in that case, like your Q did basically nothing. Like they just waited it out. You can at least use it to like, you can kind of skillfully use it to like dodge moves, or just use it in teleport right away. Teleport would honestly just do the trick, because and you should be looking at everything right now. Reiterate that. But look, the duration for it is 5 seconds, and the channel for a teleport is 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So the Q lasts your entire teleport, and they can't do anything about it. And then switch to strength dread, and you'll be golden. Definitely doing that more would help. So let's see, what do you do now? So I notice you're constantly just going back to that same lane again and again. It seems like you just need more map awareness. Just be looking around the map more, and then seeing like, okay, there's like 3-4 heroes top. Then you don't want to be top. You want to be bottom. You want to go farm bot until you're actually ready to fight. And if you kind of made some of the earlier optimizations, you would kind of actually be like close to being able to fight by now. You're kind of behind. You should always teleport your neutral items to the stash, because you can only have one neutral item equipped at a time, and your teammates can actually definitely. There's probably someone on your team who would love to have that essence ring, but it's kind of just sitting there being wasted in your backpack. If you just right click it, you can teleport it back to the stash. Left click, just right click them. Kinda have the right idea by just like farming. That's a good idea. Okay. Okay, right now, go with your team. Right now, you should definitely 100% go with your team. Because they all, what just happened was they all used Smoke of Deceit. So, let me show you what happened here. This was, your team planned a gank. And they actually tried to get you in it as well. So, when that happens, you usually want to go with your team and just hopefully trust them, unless they're like retarded. But, look what happens here. So, I think it was the Grimstroke probably that popped the smoke there. So what Smoke of Deceit does is it makes you completely invisible. Even sentry wards that like wouldn't generally detect invisibility, they can't see this Smoke of Deceit right here, and you move faster. And basically, it's a ganking tool. It lets you just sneak up. They literally can't see you guys, and you once you get into a certain radius of your enemies, the smoke is it goes away, but it lets you just kind of go as 5, and they can't really see you guys approach. They wanted a fight here, and in this case, I would have actually like popped in there, popped a Q, popped an alt. Even just do that and run out, like if you have to. But look, yeah, they won the fight anyways. You could have been there just stealing kills and making it an even easier fight, and then doing a push right after. Or at the very least, if you're not going to join the team fight, be pushing a lane. There's no reason to be in the jungle. And all this is going on, and all these heroes are so committed to what they're doing, and you're sitting there like fighting creeps. And you shouldn't be queuing the agents either. Get the bounty runes, dude. Get them as you're walking by them. Get get those items in your stash. You want to teleport these back to base right away so that your team can do it. You're depriving them of using these items. That's actually one of the best things about carries is that they kind of give everyone their neutral items. So you're kind of neutering your team there by just kind of they're not being used for anything when they're sitting in your stash. And if you right click it, you teleport them back to base, and then your team can use them. And it might be some of these items might actually be very helpful for some of them. Tinker can probably use that arcane ring. Maybe Viper can use the claw there, the M claw. Here, use your actually you don't even need the healing warrior for strong now. And you have Battle Fury. When you have Battle Fury, always first click the strongest creep, because Battle Fury has like splash damage, which will make it so like you hit a little bit on the side. So what you do is you attack the strongest creep, and your splash damage just basically kills the 2 little ones. So you want to just kind of take down the strongest creep as fast as possible. I don't know what you're doing here, but you're wasting time. Don't waste time when you're in carry. You gotta be farm, farm, farm. It's all about speed and efficiency. Yeah, right now it's actually good to be in the jungles because we really don't know where many of them are. You know, we see a little bit of the Phantom Lancer mid, who probably is your biggest threat, but regardless, it's also really scary to be in your jungle without any like sentry wards or anything because they have a Nyx assassin, and Nyx assassin can go kind of like invis and set up ganks. This is okay. It's kind of scary. This is kind of a scary push to go for. You can sometimes get away with it just because you're Juggernaut, and let's see. Let's see. Yeah, if you did that and TP'd, you would have been good again. And, and then guess what would have happened if you did that? If you queued and TP'd out, then they would have committed teleports, and they would have committed like 3-4 characters to one little part of the map. And then if you got away from that, they would have just wasted so much time. They would have had their 4 out of 5 people on their team completely waste their time and get nothing done, nothing accomplished. While your team's farming, your team's pushing objectives, and your team's fighting and doing all that. So long ass video, so I'm gonna try to skip. What I want to see is when did he come online? So I think I said enough here for now. It's a pretty long video. Gonna try and speed things up here and just see when does he actually start to come into the fight and what does he do? How does he do it? So now he's joining a team for smoking, and then let's see what happens. Yeah, so I want him to. You want to use your alt. See, okay, it'd be good to finish off that PL. I think you're just there are times I think you could just had kind of more faith in yourself and kind of let me know what rewatch that fight a little bit. You could have you have to realize that like Battle Fury is actually really good against PL and really good against multiple characters, but you don't want to use your ult when there's a bunch of things there. So what you want to do is you want to right click like one target and like Battle Fury gives you like splash damage, so it'll like kill all these little units for you. And then once they're dead, that's when you pop your ult. And I would pop the healing ward like right away, right when the team fight starts, because your whole team can benefit from the healing ward. So a little bit better spell usage. Wait on the ult. Use healing ward right away, and Q you kind of use situationally. At this point, you don't actually really need your Q as much for damage. You use it more of an escaping tool. Or you use it to like dodge spells. Like you can literally juke spells by using your Blade Fury. So yeah, right click. Basically at the beginning of team fights, if there is a good Omni Slash opportunity, you can use that. Otherwise, you want to rely more on just like healing ward and right click. Juggernaut's a right click carry for the most part, and you want to start making your right click strong. You have a lot of gold. Use that gold. If you start shift queuing a lot more, you'll use your gold efficiently a bit more. You're definitely saving up too much. Get the quick buy hockey. Be looking at bottom lane right now. You should be like, your camera shouldn't be here. There's nothing over here. Where your camera should be is right here, where there's stuff going down. Dude, they're pushing your tier 3 tower. Like, did you even know that? Okay, no, never mind. Okay, this is still tier 2. Maybe I kind of over exaggerated, but point is, look at what they have. Look at their PL, dude. He has a diffusal blade. He has a Eye of Scatty. These are some pretty big items. So you want to and let's just look at over here. Let's look at some of the stats here. So let's look at your current net worth, because you're supposed to be the most farmed hero on the map as a carry. You're actually not that bad. The only person who's above you is your Viper, who is your mid, who's probably having like a pretty solid game. Like, let's look at the Viper's record. It's probably 9-5, and you're 4-7. So it kind of makes sense that the Viper is going to be a little bit ahead of you, even though you're hard carry. So your farming and your gold is actually not that bad. You're actually prioritizing farming a good amount. Um, there's little times where you could have probably been doing a little bit more. Even like while farming, you could be more progressive with what you're doing. I think that's pretty good. Let's kind of go back to you, see what you're doing, and let's kind of hurry this up now. I think I basically said like, oh crap, it's still on free camera. I think I said a good amount here. Good amount of information, but let's just kind of 2 times watch the rest of the. You don't really need to queue creep waves anymore at this point. Once you get, yeah, see, you shouldn't have queued that creep wave because you could have used it to escape with QTP. And once you get your Battle Fury, you don't really need the AoE damage of your Q on a creep wave because your Battle Fury has cleave. See that passive cleave deals 70% of every one of your attack will basically like be AoE. It's like your right click has AoE now, so you don't need to do this for AoE. Yeah, that's pretty much what I gotta say about that. So later in the game, you start saving your Q. Around this point of the game, you start saving your Q because they might try to gank you as they did. And you want to have that QTP always ready. Don't be aggressive if you don't have both of these on off cooldown. Okay, now you're dead. Should be getting information, get information, get information. Get information on everything that's going on. Get as much info as you can. And now, yeah, I like that you're going to the top lane. What I would actually do is not TP. I know you're the carry, and I know you gotta farm fast, but I actually would not TP there. You should walk, and you should have your TP so that your TP is not on cooldown. And you should be looking over here, and you should be looking to see like, is there an opportunity for you to TP in, or do you keep farming? And you kind of want to always be doing that as a carry. You want to be pushing out these lanes, and you want to be looking at the bottom because you want to see, well, how many people do they have down there? Because if they got 5 guys down there, then you don't have to worry about much. You can push freely, and then also you look for like, can I win this fight if I come in, or would I lose? Um, right now it looks like, so this is your team. That's theirs. They only have like one guy down there. Like, it's not a huge team fight. It's not actually worth really going to, but you should kind of be wary of the situation because like stuff could go down here. Like the Nyx over there. Who knows where the Spirit Breaker can charge it. Oh no, the Spirit Breaker's dead. But yeah, you should be looking here, seeing if you can get a TP kill. But for the most part, you should be in the lane. You should be farming that, especially if they do have one person down. Then like, they got one person down, they got 3 people there, they got one person here. So if you do the math, you know that it's just free farm right there. So go back to this. Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, what up here? Alright, kind of skip ahead. Yeah, just their carry is a lot stronger than you. Like, you're kind of losing the carry war, which is kind of a bad situation. Like if you're right clicks, like you don't really have a huge damage item yet. Like Battle Fury is more of the point of Battle Fury is to accelerate your farming. You don't really have a damage weapon yet, so you're not really ready to fight. And it's like 32 minutes in the game. And Juggernaut's not the hardest carry, so actually like generally with Juggernaut you actually want like some early game momentum going. And you definitely could have got some more early momentum game. So work on your early game the most because Juggernaut, he is a carry, but he's not like the hardest carry. Like there's a lot of people that will beat him like 60 minutes into the game. Yeah, and you should just kind of yeah. Right now it's basically just GG. They just kind of prior mistakes kind of led you to this, and now it's basically over at this point. Just get into fight. At this point, you have to fight. I don't think you really have a choice. You disconnect. Cool. Yeah. At this point, I think we've seen enough to replay the